In a world that feels so heavy, where the silence turns to cries, you walked with gentle footsteps, with mercy in your eyes. Not a crown upon your head, not a throne of gold and stone, but a heart that carried kindness, a light the world has known. And when the shadows tried to hide the truth from every hand, you reminded us of love, and to walk beside, not stand. Pope Francis, your voice still calls us near. Through the chaos, your hope is clear. You show the power of love, the strength of grace, a humble man who lit the darkest place. We will carry your light through the storm and the night. Your spirit lives on, your flame still burns bright. You taught us to forgive when it felt too hard to try, to see a broken stranger as a brother in the sky. You chose the path of service when the world would turn away, and every act of mercy was a prayer you chose to say. And though your voice is silent, your message still remains, a song of hope and healing in the midst of all our pain. Pope Francis, your voice still calls us near. Through the chaos, your hope is clear. You show the power of love, the strength of grace, a humble man who lit the darkest place. We will carry your light through the storm and the night. Your spirit lives on, your flame still burns bright. So we'll stand together, hearts open wide, walking with compassion as our only guide. Your legacy's a fire, it will never fade, a promise in the ashes, a brighter world you made. Pope Francis, your voice still calls us near. Through the chaos, your hope is clear. You show the power of love, the strength of grace, a humble man who lit the darkest place. We will carry your light through the storm and the night. Your spirit lives on, your flame still burns bright. Yes, your spirit lives on, and your flame still burns bright.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight feels different for me. Usually when I stand in front of people, there are expectations. Expectations of politics, of business, of family. But this stage gives me something else. It gives me the chance to speak as simply a human being. And as a man, I want to honor someone who shaped my understanding of humility, service, and love. Pope Francis. I had the rare honor of meeting him on a few occasions. They weren't long meetings, but the moments were powerful. There was something about his presence, calm yet commanding, gentle yet unshakable. When he looked at you, you didn't feel like you were standing before one of the most influential leaders in the world. You felt like you were standing before someone who truly saw you, as if your story mattered. Pope Francis reminded us that leadership isn't about titles or wealth, it's about compassion. He chose simplicity when comfort was available. He chose forgiveness when judgment was easier. And he chose service when the world was obsessed with power. In today's world, where division seems louder than unity and cruelty often disguises itself as strength, his life reminded us of a deeper truth. Real strength is found in empathy. Real courage is found in lifting others, in forgiving, in building bridges rather than burning them down. I want to be honest. I didn't come here tonight to score applause or attention. I came here to say thank you. Thank you to a man who taught us that kindness is not weakness, that humility is not fragility, and that hope can exist even in the darkest times. And so, as I stand on this stage, my tribute is also a promise that I will carry those lessons forward, not as a politician's son, not as a public figure, but as a person, like all of us, trying to leave the world just a little better than we found it. Pope Francis gave us light. Tonight, I just hope to reflect even a small part of it.
Eric, I've been on this show for a long time, and I've seen thousands of people come out on this stage. They sing, they tell their stories, they share pieces of themselves with the world. But what you just did tonight was something much bigger than a performance. You didn't come here to impress us with high notes or fancy production. You came here with honesty. You stood here and sang from the heart about someone who has touched millions of lives across the globe, Pope Francis. And the way you carried that tribute was extraordinary. What struck me most, Eric, is that I could feel this wasn't just words for you. You weren't singing about a distant figure. You were singing about someone you truly knew, someone who personally influenced you. That connection gave every lyric weight, and it gave the audience something rare: authenticity. Music has power when it is real, when it comes from a place of truth. Tonight, your song was not just about Pope Francis, it was about what he represented: humility, compassion, forgiveness, and hope. And you managed to capture all of that in a way that was both deeply personal and universal. You said something in your speech earlier that really stayed with me, that his legacy doesn't belong to one faith, one country, or one group of people. It belongs to humanity. And your performance proved that. Everyone in this room, regardless of what they believe, felt the love and light you were carrying forward. Eric, this was not just a tribute, it was a moment. A moment where the entire room was silent, listening, feeling, remembering. And I can honestly say, this is one of the most moving performances I have ever witnessed on this stage. Thank you for reminding us that music, at its best, is not about fame or competition, but about healing. And tonight, you healed hearts.